Cross-site scripting attacks are similar to SQL injection attacks. You learned about SQL injection attacks in Lesson 9.11. Rather than trying to send SQL code to your database, cross-site scripting attacks try to manipulate the HTML code on your web pages. In this lesson, you'll learn about cross-site scripting attacks and how to prevent them. ASP.NET is highly secure against cross-site scripting attacks, but you should always be aware of the ways malicious users might attempt to attack your sites. To begin, open the StableBase project from your Sample Files folder. And view taskadmin.aspx in your web browser. This page displays a list of tasks and allows new tasks to be added. View the page's HTML code now. To do this in Internet Explorer, right-click on the page and click View Source from the shortcut menu. Now examine the HTML code that was generated by the grid view control. As you can see, each item is placed inside a TD tag in an HTML table. Now close the source code window. You're now going to attempt a cross-site scripting attack. In the text box, enter the following code: jeffk endtd endtr endtable script alert hacked by jeffk end script. This is a typical cross-site scripting attack. If the attack is successful, the HTML code generated by the grid view control will be modified. If the attack succeeds, a script tag will be added to the page, allowing the malicious user to insert JavaScript code. Click Add Task now. An error appears. By default, ASP.NET automatically blocks any attempts at cross-site scripting attacks. You may recall seeing this error before, in Lesson 10.5. Close your web browser now and return to Visual Studio. You're now going to make your site vulnerable to cross-site scripting attacks. First, open web.config and add the following tag inside the system.web tag: HTTP runtime request validation mode equals 2.0. Now open taskadmin.aspx in source view and add the following property to the %@page tag: validate request equals false. The taskadmin.aspx page is now potentially vulnerable to cross-site scripting attacks. Now let's try to carry out a cross-site scripting attack again. View taskadmin.aspx in your web browser. And in the text box, re-enter the cross-site scripting code: jeffk endtd endtr, endtable, script, alert, hacked by Jeff K, end script. Now click Add Task. Amazingly, the cross-site scripting attack still fails. The grid view control automatically encodes its contents to prevent cross-site scripting attacks. Although the grid view control protects you, some controls, such as the literal control, may now be vulnerable to attacks. As long as you don't disable ASP.NET's built-in security, you should never need to worry about cross-site scripting attacks. Note that, although ASP.NET automatically protects you from cross-site scripting and SQL injection attacks, this isn't true of all languages. In other languages, such as PHP, you must be very careful to avoid writing code that is vulnerable to attack. ASP.NET offers so much automated protection, it is easy to forget that it is possible for your web applications to be vulnerable. It's very important to understand these vulnerabilities if you write code that steps outside ASP.NET's protected environment. Close your web browser now and close Visual Studio. You've now completed Lesson 10.8. Understand cross-site scripting attacks.